You know, we normally have Aaron Fullen in here.
I know it.
And he would be over here and he would say, this is how we always open it up. This is a small little show that we do, but we have about over 100,000 viewers across the internet in the craziest places like Turkey, Africa, China. You'd be surprised the people that tune in and actually watch what we're doing. So it's pretty amazing. Little Thompson, Illinois, we have a small little show. But if something's wrong, someone from Africa will email us and say, Bob looked sick or something today. Should he have been replaced or whatever? But normally Aaron Fullen would say, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome. No, what would he say? He would say, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host, Bob and Bill. And he would say, from beautiful sunny Thompson, Illinois.
And y'all clap.
No. He actually would say, where the fish are always biting, but nobody will ever tell you where.
That's true. That's really true.
So good morning, Bob.
We're going to bring it in with a nice round of applause here in a second. Appreciate all of you being here, everybody in here. Most of them are return customers, and I really like that. A lot of my friends back here. But we're asking a little bit out of the audience, clapping it in and out, and hooting and hollering is just fine. We'll take all that.
Would you rather have hooting or hollering? Which would be better?
I like hooting better than
hooting.
hollering.
So who here can hoot? Anybody can hoot? Girls, young girls, can you hoot?
Leslie, you can hoot.
Nobody can hoot? Who here can holler? Nobody can holler. Got some hollers, okay? Got some hollers in the back, so that's good. So we know where our strengths are. It's always good to know where your strengths and weaknesses are before you move forward. So
let's bring this in. Bring it in. Welcome everybody to another session of the Old Time Heirloom Hour. Great show. Hello, Bill. How are you?
Bob, it's good to see you again. It's good to be back. I've been gone.
Yes, you have.
I was in Belize. We have a home in Belize, and so I've been in Central America, actually in the jungles of Central America, where my wife almost got killed.
Really?
Killed, as Davy Crockett would say, by a Mayan coral snake. So
really?
I'll just tell you briefly, walking down a trail in the middle of Central America. It's warm in Central America, but it's not as hot as it is here sometimes.
Yeah.
In the jungles, big canopy jungles, howler monkeys up above, all that stuff. The trail guide that we were with steps. He's walking up the trail. We're about 3 or 4 miles out. Steps on some leaves. The next passenger, the next traveler on the trail, there's only 3 of us, was my wife Kim. And a beautiful coral snake popped up and wasn't very happy with her. As you might imagine. So he was already long gone. He was native Mayan, and he's already scooting down the path of these, Illinois people walking a little slower.
Yeah.
And of course she escaped that, but they are deadly poisonous. I think they call them like 3-step snakes as well, because you don't take too many more steps than 3 after you get bit by a Mayan coral snake.
That's what it is.
Crazy things start to happen to your mind and your body, and the truth is we never would have got her back because we were miles into the jungle. Miles away from anything.
Things like that. It's in God's hands more than
it's in God's hands. It's not like Thompson where we have everything under control all the time. But
isn't that true?
It's a wild place.
Well, I know this about snakes. And in general in this area, anything with color you better stay away from. Anything that can swim really well in the water, you better stay away from.
And that can happen to you here, right down here too.
Oh yeah.
For our friends that are watching that are near the Congo, we don't want you to think that you've got, the only snakes that can get you. We got water moccasins right down here on the mighty Mississippi that'll chase you out and give you a hard time as well.
In the water. Most snakes are not comfortable in the water. They'll get from point A to point B and disappear. A water moccasin lives in the water mostly, so he is and you'll see them. They'll be dancing around.
Yeah, you'll know it when they're coming towards you because they've got that look in their eye. Why are you here in my domain, is what they're saying, which is what that coral snake was saying.
Well, I'm glad you got back from Belize and your wife didn't die. That's a good thing. And then you went, to Alabama from there?
Which is a lot like a Central American
It can be. We've got probably more than one person from Alabama.
It's a little less it's more lawless than Belize, so it's wild and woolly. No, I love Alabama.
I do too.
And it's just always great to be in the South because people are genuine.
Sure
One of the things that we try to cultivate here on the Old Time Heirloom Hour, Bob, is just a sense of hospitality,
Yes.
hominess, stop and talk, all that kind of stuff. And when you go, I think this is a fault we've got above the Mason-Dixon line. We're all very busy. When you go down below the Mason-Dixon line, it seems like people are more friendly. I'm just saying generally.
Sure, yeah.
Not saying people in Clinton aren't friendly. There's 3 of them there that are very friendly. But what I'm saying is that you go down south and it's kind of baked into their DNA to be nice to you.
Yeah.
It's
And it is. And it started with my grandma in Arkansas. For me, they put on a show. When we go down there, when we went down there as children, they took care of us, daylight and before daylight, all the way through dark. And one meal turned into another. And the same with music. It started at 4 in the afternoon, and a lot of times they didn't shut down until 4 or 5 in the morning.
Sure,
And
sure.
they just took care of their people, and any visitors they were very special, nice to. And I think
Everybody's special.
I think
There's
it
a lot
comes
of
from
time.
there. I really do think that it comes from that humility that they've been through that has them treating people really well.
Oh, I think so. Another thing that reminds me of rural Alabama. So if you go to the cities in Alabama, if you go to Nashville, I mean, it's nicer than it is up here. It's just beautiful and nice. But once you get off the roads, off the main roads, and you start driving around, you go to what is rural Alabama and rural Tennessee and some of those places. What you see is totally different. You see a lot of old boats.
Yep.
You see a lot of junk cars, and you see a lot of, sort of red-green contraptions. And I was thinking about your latest. You just want to tell people, because I think folks in China that are watching would get a kick out of what you were working on with what looked like something from rural Alabama, where you're trying to make a recreational vehicle out of.
We have an old motorhome, 1986. It's about 4 miles to the gallon, and it just keeps running. Right now, it's running out of a gas tank in the front of the engine. My wife is very upset about that. She wants it to be a traditional vehicle that would run out of the gas tank itself. But the way I fix things, there's a hose coming out of the engine into the front of the motorhome, and it's 5 gallons gets you maybe 20 miles, and then you got to stop and.
So understand what he's doing. He's running a large motorhome with a 5-gallon, almost a siphon-like thing. Stick it into a 5-gallon
For sure.
gas can, and so you can go from Fulton to. Can you make it up to Lockadam 13?
You can make it there. You can make it to the Prophetstown Park, Savannah Park, but then at that point you have to stop and.
And is that about as far as you guys go?
Yeah,
Okay.
it really is.
So you could drive a little circle around your thing, and you get about 10 miles to where you can go, or 20 miles.
And this idea actually got taken up by somebody else. I saw it on YouTube. I wanted to make a motorhome that you could drive onto a barge, and actually I put a bid on a houseboat. I was going to get that motorhome up there and hook up some cables and maybe a little band wire and duct tape and have that thing, you could drive it right on at the ramp onto a barge and then go wherever you want. You could go to Europe if you wanted, if you had enough gas. But that was my idea. And
I can see you pulling into, one of the harbors over there.
Yeah, well, unhooking all the cables would probably cause quite a commotion and driving the motorhome off of it. But I saw YouTube last week where the motorhome actually drove right into the water. So as all of my other inventions, somebody stole it.
And you ought to test that more in the river here before you go out onto the ocean, because the waves are big and it's a little bit problematic. Now, since I was gone, another thing I want to tell you that I think is kind of cool is people send me jokes, and so I ask for these jokes, but they tend to accumulate. Most of them are in poor taste, and most of them aren't funny at all. So I want to test you to see.
Okay, I'm ready.
I sifted through a bunch of them before we get started here. I'm like Joel Osteen. You know how Joel says, I always like to start with a joke. So I'm just like Joel.
You are
I'm a lot like Joel. So here's one that I thought was appropriate for our place, just because we're all about heirloom and stuff. Why do melons have fancy weddings? Why do melons have fancy weddings? Because they can't elope.
Ah.
Is that funny? No? Tough
Well,
crowd.
I'm kind of hoping the next one's a little better.
The Alabama people already know that show. Okay, so you think it's going to get better?
I think it is.
Oh, okay. So here's another one someone sent me. How do you kill a vegetarian vampire?
I don't know. Celery? I don't know.
With a stake to the heart.
Ah.
That's pretty funny.
Well, steaks do go right to the heart.
Okay, here's another one. Here's one that's more up our alley. The last one. This will be the last one for a minute, and then we'll bring the band up. Good thing.
Because you're crashing and burning with it.
Yeah. Well, these aren't my jokes.
Oh.
These are people that our friends from all over Mozambique send us. Can you imagine such a thing? Yeah. Zimbabwe, yeah. What happens when you get a bladder infection?
I know what happens to me. You don't want to know.
Well, I know that you already know that. Our viewers said, you're in trouble. All right. That's a good note to end it on.
That's a pretty
Keep
good
drinking your coffee, everybody.
Now, listen, we got Forrest Carter Ricci and Montrose Trail Band, the Cowboy and the Lady, coming up right next. Thank you all. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Old Time Heirloom Hour. Beautiful sunny Thompson, Illinois. We're here with officially the Cowboy, the Lady, and the Montrose Trail Band. They've been all over. I've seen them in different bands. Each one of them, they've played some. They've played down in Branson. Forrest has played with Dolly Parton. There's been a lot of music history in here in this music right now. As soon as they get ready, we're going to play 2 songs for you, and I can't wait to hear it. Let's introduce the Montrose Trail Band.
Yeah, baby. Thank y'all very much. We're going to start this one off with a George Jones song, one of his first earliest hits. And it's, it's about a liquid that is clear as water right there, but I don't drink any of it, just so you know. It's called White Lightning. Well, in North Carolina, way back in the hills, lived my old pappy and he had him a still. He brewed white lightning till the sun went down, and he'd fill him a jug and pass it around. Mighty, mighty beans and pappy's gonna squeeze them. Ooh, I like that. Well, the chief and the team and the revenuers too, searching for the place where his name is true. They were looking, trying to book him, but my pappy kept it looking. Ooh, I like that. Oh. Pappy, what he called his brew. One like I said, I found to do. Took one sip and right away I knew. When my eyes bugged out and my face turned blue. Mighty, mighty beans and Pappy's gone squeezing. Ooh, I like that. Well, the chief and the team and revenuers too, searching for the place where he made his brew. They were looking, trying to book him up. My pappy him took a pill. Ooh, I like that. Hey, Frank, take a ride, buddy. Taste that powerful stuff. Took one slug and drunk it all down, and I heard him a moaning as he hit the ground. Mighty, mighty please, and Pappy's gonna squeeze him. Ooh, I like that. Well, the chief and the team and revenuers too, searching for the place where they made it through. They were looking, trying to work me, but my Pappy didn't look at me. Ooh, I like that. searching for a place where he made his room. They were looking, trying to look him, but not happy if they're cooking. Ooh, I like that. Thank y'all very much. We appreciate that a whole lot. Well, I'm really blessed this morning to have these guys back in town. My son and one of my daughters, they're here from Nashville. They've been touring all over the country, and I got lucky and got them, they stopped by this weekend. We're going to feature my son Frank now. He's one of the #1 guitar players in Nashville, Tennessee. Give him a great big hand, Mr. Frank Carter Rishi.
Thanks. Thank you, everybody. All right. We're going to do a song called Gentle on My Mind right now. Well, it's knowing that your door is always open and your path is free to walk. That makes me tend to leave my sleeping bag rolled up and stashed behind your couch. And it's knowing I'm not shackled by forgotten words and lines and the ink stains that have dried upon some line. That keeps you on the back roads by the rivers of my memory. That keeps you ever gentle on my mind. It's not clinging to the rocks and ivy on their columns now it binds me. Or something that somebody said because they thought we fit together walking. It's just knowing that the world will not be cursing or forgiving when I walk upon some railroad tracks and find that you're moving on the back roads by the rivers of my memory. And for hours you're just gentle on my mind. Bring it on. The wheat fields and the clotheslines and the junkyards and the highways come between us. Some other woman's crying to her mother 'cause she turned and I was gone. Well, I still might run in silence. Tears of joy might stain my face. The summer sun might burn me till I'm blind. Oh, but not to where I cannot see you walking on the back roads by the rivers flowing gentle on my mind. And I dip my cup of soup back from a gurgling, crackling cauldron in some train yard. And my fears will rough me cold now with a dirty asphalt glow across my face. Your cupped hands round the tin can, I pretend to hold you to my breast and mine. That you're moving on the back road
out there tonight. We got a concert going on. We'll be right back with a little more from me and Bill, a funny skit coming on, and then we got more music for you. We'll see you.
Much funnier than the pun.
We'll see you in a couple of minutes.
All right, and we are back for another little segment, one of our hopefully more humorous segments, Bob, than some of what our readers and viewers have been sending in to us. This is like something actually that's happened to us here.
Yeah, I didn't think
This
it was
is
that
not
funny, Bill.
anything that's been created. This is an actual event from one of our work sessions that we have. So,
We've got a new pig, Panini, and we're having trouble with that pig. That's all this is about, really.
troubles with the pig.
Yes.
So, and again, that's something that some of our viewers in more remote areas probably can understand a little bit better than maybe someone with urban life here. If you've got a hog, sometimes they don't cooperate or whatever, so they don't want to
And
participate.
they like to cause trouble.
They're stubborn.
Yes. People like rooting, they like eating stuff
Like
that
rooting
they're
around.
supposed to eat, and that's where this came from. You want to roll that beautiful bean footage?
Ben, here we go. Make sure you
I
have
not
adequate
seen this
volume.
yet. I have not seen this yet, so.
You haven't seen this? Oh, that's right. We forbid you to watch it. Ben, you may have to get closer with your remote.
Now, Dick takes me through the garden. He's upset because things are ripped
This
up.
is our garden right back here. You can walk
There's
through
Panini.
it.
Panini is in there, and he's mad at me. He wants to build a fence. That's exactly what we're going to do.
So you're fence building.
Yeah, well, we're not so good at building.
Oh,
Yeah.
that had to have hurt.
Well, Nick got hurt a little bit. Then he took that away from me. He didn't let me do it. So we got a nice post.
You got to
out
dig a
here.
hole first
Yeah.
before you do anything else. Oh, no.
Oh, and I kind of missed with the post hole digger.
I can see you're surprised,
And then,
too.
so he wanted me to just roll up a fence. We got it. Whoa! And then I got caught up in it.
Uh-oh.
And the pig decided.
It seemed like everything slowed down here for you.
It slowed
Did
down.
you hit your head?
Now, I don't remember this part. I was
Okay.
kind of in a daze.
Yeah, this is what happens when you hit your head and there's a pig.
And that pig is, it looks not very mean, but it is a mean pig.
Maybe,
There you go. And,
All right, so there you go. That's the pig skit, ladies and gentlemen, with Bob and Nick, who Nick Heising was a little sick this morning, so
Nick's not feeling well.
shout out to
We're trying
Nick.
to cover for him
He's
a
got
little bit.
swine flu, oddly enough.
And already we're 20 minutes late. So
It's just like Nick
that's
being
what
here.
Nick does here. Now we're gonna feed the crowd here with some mini cinnamon mini biscuits or something here, and then we're gonna come back with some music.
Bring the band back
We'll
on,
be
so
right
stay
back.
tuned. Thank you very much.
Welcome back to the old time Heirloom Hour, beautiful sunny Johnson, Illinois. We got a couple more songs from the Cowboy, the Lady, and the Montrose Trail Band, and we're just really appreciative of them coming here and showing up in between where all their gigs and what they're doing. And let's give them a big hand and bring them in.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We're going to do the first song. This is a brand new song for us. I think we've only played this in public one time. And we're going to get this young lady up here to sing the vocals on it. She is a very special lady. Comes to us all the way from London, England. Everybody, I want you to give her a great big hand. Wendy Marie, give it up for her.
I'm just a boy, running a stranger. I've been through
Real quick, I'll introduce the rest of the group. Picking on a five-string banjo, this young man, ladies and gentlemen, has played for Lynn Ronstadt and Crystal Gale. A lot of Ricky Skaggs on this. I could just keep on talking forever. His first real gig with a big time group was playing bass for Mr. Bill Monroe, one of my biggest heroes. Mr. Paul Pack on a five-string banjo. Thank you. And he'll be, I don't know, if you bring your mandolins with you this weekend? All right, great. Well, later on in the concert tonight, we'll have picking a mandolin as well, which is fabulous. And the young lady who was singing harmony just now, who's going to sing the lead, she comes to us from Nashville. I'll brag about her real quick. My youngest daughter plays in the #1 rock band in the world right now with Mr. Jack White. And they were doing a tour. They've been doing a tour for several months now, but they swung through Chicago the last couple of days. And they called this young lady out to sing the vocals with my other daughter out on at the Chicago Theater a couple of nights ago. She's absolutely an incredible vocalist. Grace McKenna Ritchie, everybody. Give it up for her.
And get your cake on her. Good wines from Chicago to LA. Good more than 2,000 miles along the way. It's your gates on Route 66. But it goes between Louis John and Missouri, Oklahoma City, so you see Amarillo, out of New Mexico.
Well, thank you all. I want to thank everybody in the back. I want to thank the sound guys. I really want to thank this group here, and I want to thank my audience. We'll see you in a month, and let's not forget we've got a 5 to 8 concert tonight with these guys. It's going to be a blowout, and it's free, and we got ribeye steaks coming tonight, so this will be a really good one. We'll see you all next month.